He's gonna come up anyway, so we can always just chop him, you know.
Is it better to sit on the stool or sit on the ledge?
Sit on the ledge. I think it's
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you look cool as, bro.
That's the nicest thing you've said to me.
You know, I'm so
That's-
proud. Like, this looks freaking cool.
I've been wearing the AXG one.
Yeah, and then,
Oh, sorry,
See-
you want to tie that lace for me, please?
okay, sorry.
What should the legs be doing?
No, it's great.
That way?
That's great.
This is a shield.
Yeah, cool.
You're not having two.
Nah, I want to have one. Just something different. Wow. That's cool. Hey, bro.
Hey guys, this is Gus, Linda, Laurie, and
We are Newbie, and today we are doing a bit of a recap from our trip to China. So, for some of you that don't know, we did do a trip to China. We were meant to do recaps every day, but because we got back so late, there were times that, we were just way too tired to do anything. So we thought we'd get together, do a fun little recap, go over some questions, and wrap up our trip this way.
How was it for you traveling this time with our team? Was it a different experience for you? And what's something new that you learnt on this trip?
First part, traveling to China and actually documenting it this time was obviously special. Being able to show people our process or the work that actually goes into creating these garments, I think was a real big key takeaway for me. Obviously, don't do too well on the camera, but I'm trying to get used to that a little bit more. The other part is obviously having Lawrence there, having someone to bounce ideas off. Because the days were so long, we were still able to have banter, we were still able to have a laugh, and I think that was actually important as well because our days were so long. So, yeah.
I think it's cool that you got to share it with, our team, that you could actually enjoy it and talk about it and soak it all in a little bit more. Would you say that's fair?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Very cool. How was it for you? I mean, was that your first time there? What was it like for you?
yeah. Hold that. Hello. China. That was probably my second time. I've been to Shanghai, but I don't really remember too much of it. But it was such an amazing trip just to be able to see how your process is through, obviously your incredible your line and how it all works, and just see what the process of what factory does what. And I didn't realize how many steps it goes through, and just going into your meetings and even just turning off my camera and just listening. It was really, really cool to just be in the room and just the knowledge of the garments, the GSM and the color and just other details, being a creative as well. It's just really, really cool to be in the room with that kind of creative as well.
Yeah.
So I think it was a really, really, really awesome experience. I'm very grateful to be a part of that, and I'm sure hopefully many more. But yeah, as a creative, it was a videographer. It was it's always inspiring to go to another country as well. I think it's definitely kicked my creative juice in other ways, and I feel very, very creatively full from it. So yeah.
So, I mean, talk about the experience. Was there any new step in the process of creating our garments that was new for you to see firsthand?
I don't think it was new, but I think it was the part that felt new was the actual documenting part. I said it before. I did go to China previously, but I didn't get a chance to show people that process, and actually taking Lawrence through the process and showing him our meetings or discussions, all those types of things, it felt a lot better, it felt special. So That's as best as I can describe it. It was almost like that's what was new about it, is that I was actually putting it on paper, or putting it on video, that this is actually my process. And I think that whole thing was different for me, because that was actually probably the mind-blowing thing, was that there's a lot that goes on to making these things, and people just think that we just find a person on Alibaba and you just go for it, like this is actually years in trying to figure out how garments work, or how to find the right supply, and how to find the right people, because people can always sell you a product and will tell you, all the things that you want to hear, but being able to build those relationships with Jerry and with those guys over there, that solidifies me as trying to build the brand the way that I want to build it.
Because I think that's something that maybe a lot of people don't know, is that you've been actually sampling with manufacturers for years, since 2013?
Yeah.
And this has taken many years and tens and maybe over 100 samples to find our manufacturer. Can you maybe share a bit about our relationship with our manufacturer that maybe our customers wouldn't know?
Yeah, obviously it's hard to select your manufacturers, and it's hard to build those relationships with manufacturers if there's so much media out there that tells you who to go with. I think the difference for us was that because I was doing it for so long and interacting and talking to a lot of people, I kind of simplified what I was looking for, and that led us to our current one, which is Jerry. Like in the beginning, they talk like they know everything, which is great, but it's the talking and the doing, and he did both. We were talking about going back and forth around going to China. I couldn't go to China at the time because of the COVID, but he could travel to Australia. So the whole story behind that was I actually flew him to Sydney, which he didn't believe in the beginning. I asked him for his passport. He said, here's my passport, but I don't believe you. I did it anyway, and he flew here that next week. So from there, I knew he was serious, because when he came over with like 4 or 5 suitcases, and we chopped it up in our office, and we basically went through our whole blanks range and picked apart what was good and what wasn't good. I think just him being there, showing me his skill set, being able to really direct me to part of my garments that was shit and was good, like that just sets him apart automatically. Being able to even create the garments from scratch, via digital was amazing as well. So taking my instruction, like, hey, can we lower this? Can we add this? We were basically doing it together and vibing on that same level. On top of that, he had already bought all 4 suitcases of materials, cuts, and different prints that we could choose from straight then and there. So from that day that we had met and gone through that whole process, I think him and I knew like we had something special. And this is our 3rd year now working together with him, and yeah, our products are basically speaking for themselves.
I feel like you both really just complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I really love about him is like, you would say like, oh, I want this, can we like have this for the next day or something?
Yep.
And he'll just do it straight away.
Yeah, man.
And he's just on it,
Yeah.
and he's so just quick with everything. He knows what he wants, and he takes what you want as well. And he's
Yeah.
like, we should do, but like, if there's something that you say, he'll be like, oh, let's do it this way.
Yeah.
And make it even better, which is, I think, a great thing to have with a manufacturer, I would assume.
Absolutely. He's like really forward thinking, and that's what
Yeah.
I really like about him.
Yeah.
Is that he's not thinking of next season, he's thinking of next year, or the year after. And it's pretty evident in some of the things that we've discussed with him around different plannings. Like I'll catch myself out sometimes. I'll be like, oh shit, fuck, Jerry told me that. And me and him will have a laugh about it.
Yeah.
So it's really, really important to have that relationship with the manufacturer where it's an open and honest and transparent relationship. And man, you may not have those relationships with people, and it's hard to come by, but when you do, I feel like that's the difference in in how you make your garment creation and how well your products will be.
Maybe one thing that people may not understand or know about too is that it takes over a year for us from the concept of the garment to the the sizing of the garment, the specific lengths, to the sampling, to the production. And is there something new that you learnt on this visit? Or what's one thing you'll take away from this trip?
One thing I'll take away from this trip is that documenting your journey is very important.
Why?
Not only for memories, but I feel like if you're a creative doing things like this, I think it's important to share that experience with others because you don't know who you're going to be inspiring. I take inspiration from a lot of people. Me and Lawrence were talking about Justin Souls, content that's out that's just so authentic, and when you watch that type of content, you feel like a sense of a belonging to that type of thing. And being able to document this journey with Lawrence and with you, obviously, it's special, but it's also going to resonate with other people. Like, man, there's billions of people out there that it just takes one person to see this, and it might inspire them to start their own journey, because that's what sparked mine. So that's my key takeaway. What was your 3 takeaways from this trip?
3 takeaways from our trip. I think the first one is when we arrived in China and we ended up getting food and coming back at home at 3 a.m, which would have been 5 a.m. in Sydney, to not go to the gym at 7 a.m. I think that really ruined us for the rest of the trip.
Yeah, it did.
I think I was just so excited.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get content started straight away.
Yeah.
And I think you were the same. So
I warned him too. I was like, well, Jerry's going to probably want to go and eat after,
Yeah.
but I'll try and tell him we'll just go straight back to the hotel. Remember how he did it before? And
but
he did it.
To be fair, like, that food was
It was fire,
bombing,
bro.
bro. Like,
$30.
yeah. And just got to chat with him, which was really cool.
Yeah.
Second one, I don't know, just everyone, I feel like everyone in China especially, or where we were in Hangzhou, they're just there to work. Like, every place you went to is just grind,
Hustle, eh?
just hustle hard. Third one, I don't know. Being able to document everything, I think, is very important. Like, just seeing your reactions, like when we did the stitching for the kids.
Yeah.
When they accidentally stitched it upside down, so it was like Ubi instead of Nubi, which I thought was hilarious. But I think just seeing your reactions was really freaking cool, and because it was obviously the first time you've seen it too.
Yeah.
And then there was that factory on the end of the first day where it was like all your garments there.
Yeah.
It was incredible, like, just to see. Like, I didn't realize it was all your stuff. And then you were like, "Yep, this is all our stuff," and I was like, "Holy!"
Yeah, it was dedicated just to our garments. Man.
That was amazing, bro. But yeah, looking back on, because I was just editing the vlog, or part 1 this week, and just like recapping myself, just like, oh my god, we did all this just in one day. It was incredible. Yeah.
And my last question is like, from a creative standpoint, how would you say that trip inspired you? Like if you were to say like the colors or just the places or where you went, like is that up there for your creativity or in that,
I think this trip especially, for the way I like to shoot or want to be able to tell a story, this is definitely, I don't know, if people see my work, this is probably very different, which is really cool. Like, I know a lot of people want like hype stuff from me, but I'm really loving just the simple things, being able to tell a story as it is without adding crazy effects, and just really good soundtracks, and then just the content itself. I think that's just enough, and what we did is more than enough. So
What were your 3 takeaways from the trip?
My 3 takeaways from the trip is before we get there, tell Jerry we're not going anywhere. We just hop off the plane. I won't even tell Jerry we're there. I'll just go straight to my hotel and I'll go to sleep and I'll let him know in the morning that I'm there and I'll meet him at the office. That's one. The second one is I would enjoy the hotel breakfast. Because the first 2 days I didn't even
didn't eat?
Yeah, I didn't have anything the first 2
how.
days. I was because I think I was just there was just so much in my mind that I forgot to eat those 2 mornings. So yeah, make sure I have a good big breakfast to fill me up. And the third one is take my wife and my kids. That'll be my
Correct.
that'll be my
I feel like
Tick.
also like a bit longer too. If you
Yeah,
were to go
absolutely. I
together,
think 7 to 14 days would be great.
because whole like cutting those days in half.
Yeah,
Because
literally.
they were we did 4 things in that day. And just at least doing 2, and then you can enjoy the hotel or
Yeah.
out. Because we didn't even get to go out, which was
Because we planned on riding bikes and
Yeah.
shit, but we didn't.
we
so
were just so buggered. Like
it was
we
just
would,
busy.
We would start at 8 a.m. and then finish at
Yeah,
One of
1,
them was
2 in the
11,
morning,
11 p.m. and then the next night was 2 p.m.
Then 3.
2 a.m.
and then
Yeah.
3, the last
yeah,
one.
Yeah. What is your like goal for all this content stuff that we're like pumping more now?
Brand awareness, obviously. Wanting to be the best in. If we're saying from the wholesale perspective, wanting to be the preferred blank supplier for creatives, and then from the creative side, wanting to have that expression of showing our other side of what we can do and what we can produce. It's not just we're not just wholesale. We're multifaceted.
I'm sure you get a lot of different clients from like coffee shop owners that will
Yep.
just tease for their coffee shops.
Yeah.
Like clothing brands, obviously. But like, what's the weirdest one that you just like? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what.
Like a brand.
Yeah, or like a
Oh.
company or something like. You have
Oh, I don't know. Linda would know more. It's a lot of coffee shops though.
I mean, we had coffee like that other time.
Yeah, algorithm. Yeah.
Do you know what? It's probably like the brands who align with our brand. I feel like we're all quite similar in taste. So I feel like anyone who would love our brands has the same vibe. So I would say every time we see their execution of what they've done to one of our blanks, it looks cool. It looks so cool.
Absolutely.
So,
So you even had like a doctor or something grab like a few.
Oh, we've had-
actually, I've
yeah.
had a
Dentist or
financial
something.
institution.
Oh, true.
Actually, yeah,
Interesting.
like financial advisory firm. So shout out to them
Wow.
if you're watching this. So for their team t-shirts.
Just t-shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna be quality.
So it was a very smart investment, I would say.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
yeah. When and where is the next trip?
Well, we did have a look. We got some really cool pieces for spring, so I would really love to shoot somewhere aesthetically pleasing. I don't know where, but I'll give Lawrence 1 week's notice.
yeah, I remember like asking, "Are we still going?" And then you're like, "Oh yeah, book the flights." And I was like, "Oh, sure, okay."
But yeah, definitely it would be cool to shoot spring somewhere really cool, and try and shoot it early, probably in the next couple of weeks or so.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Alright.